At least 50% of the dogs are called Gerda or Malish. Or if you're lucky, it's Ricci, you know, and it's like, come on, Ricci. Is that artillery coming in, going out, or whatever, and still then you see the dogs still have that small shock. So when they come back to our shelter, they just sleep for 3 or 4 days.
Gerda? My name is Noel Tock. I am from Switzerland, and a big part of being here is that so many animals were displaced as a result of Russians occupying various territories, then being pushed back. Now you have the deoccupied territories. So you still have animals running around. All these animals deserve a second chance. In 2023, at least, from Nordog charity, so we evacuated and rehomed 501 animals, I think it was. So that's really the full process. We produced and distributed those 245,000 kilos of dog food, and we distribute and we bring them ourselves, right? So the 4 of us make up the leadership team of Nordog, and then we have an extended team from people who work in the shelter, people who do deliveries, and come on evacuations with us, because ultimately we are fully vertically integrated, and that means that not only do we evacuate animals from the front lines, we also bring them to our shelter. We have place for maximum 70. It gets quite full sometimes. There we have our vet that comes by, Oleg, once or twice a week to do the sterilizations, vaccination, put the chip in, deworming, this whole process. And then during that whole time, we also have our 2 sales ladies finding different families to then bring this dog to, and then at the end we deliver the dog directly to Western Ukraine.
Yeah, who's that?
There's been a lot of moments in terms of being confronted with war. Sometimes it's not the actual explosions and the shells and things like that. It's the stories you hear, how horrible war is. There was this one day where Pavel and myself were just doing a couple of evacuations, really easy ones from Kramatorsk to Slovansk. Sometimes there's military guys that want to come with, because they just need a ride, because they're not on rotation. They just have like a small holiday or something's happening or whatever that they need to go home. So at the checkpoint, the guy at the checkpoint says, "Hey, where you heading?" And we say, "Kharkiv." And he says, "Oh, can you take this guy with?" And we say, "Of course." So sits in the back, we start driving, and it's an older man, I'd say. He was probably, 62, and it turns out that he joined the military because his son joined the military. And the son didn't get drafted. The son was 21 years old and decided, I'm going to go volunteer, and I'm going to be at one of the frontline units and, just, do what's right for the country. Paul talks to him some more and asks him, well, where are you going back to Kharkiv? And he says, the older man says, well, I have to go bury my son. Then he says, and after I'm done with that, I'm going to go back to the front lines to protect my son's friends. The father volunteered because his son volunteered and lost his son, and now he's going back to the front lines to protect his son's friends. And it's just incredibly selfless.
And we're driving through back roads, back from Velikoladies, and the sun is setting, becoming really beautiful, it's really this red and orange, and the colors are really popping. But you realize the only reason it's that colorful is because of the fires and the smokes in Volchansk. The thing I see a lot, which I can't undo, is the paradox and the contradictions in beauty and horror. And at the same time, it gives me a lot of appreciation just for, a nice day, or the kindness between individuals, or just seeing my friends. And I think I've learned a lot about myself in that process. So if anything, I want to keep learning of myself and keep finding out who I am as a human, you know?